Hello everyone, welcome to Design Career Awareness webinar. My name is Muzna. I am the Info Coordinator at School of Design, and thanks for taking that first step to decide about your design career, and thanks for joining us here this evening. Some of you might have joined yesterday for the Fine Arts webinar that we had. Today is going to be spatial design. So the course of the webinar is going to be with, we'll be starting with our academic speaker, Ms. Subhashini first, and then later on we will be moving on to our industry speaker, Ms. Sreedevi, and then later on towards the end we will open up the space for Q&A. You can put in your questions even as the webinar is going on our chat screen so that we can see the questions and we'll answer it towards the end. So before we get into the webinar, one request is please make sure all your mics are on mute, except for the speakers when they have to speak. And right now I'm going to be showing you a bit of the infrastructure at School of Design. Some of you might have actually visited our campus, some of you might not have. So it's just for you to get a quick gist into how our campus looks. So I'm just going to put myself on mute and show you the video now.
Start your design journey at Chennai's first exclusive design college. School of Design aims to equip the students with real-world knowledge and practical experience in the industry of design. Choose from our various specialized courses such as fashion design, industrial design, interior design, communication design, and visual arts. With renowned professionals from the industry as faculty, every department is well equipped with fully functional studios and workshops such as art studio, apparel lab, handworking carpentry space, and much more. State-of-the-art metal workshop, woodworking workshop, printing technology lab, chroma key room, garment construction lab, and pattern making lab to assist the students in their designs and projects. The institute offers various digital tools like computer and communication labs, sound design lab, recording lab for the students to explore their interests in any medium. Sophisticated 3D printing machinery, laser cutting machine are available to initiate the students into ideating and prototyping their designs. Find all the tools required to let your imagination become a reality at DOT. All while having a fun campus life. With workshops and events happening frequently, we provide you with a platform to co-learn, collaborate, and synergize with both your batchmates and the veterans in the industry. Let's appreciate the history of design and learn from the pioneers. Design and technology are the future of innovation. Join the design revolution at DOT.
So that was just a quick sneak peek into our college. Whenever you get a chance, please do come in and have a look. It's a fantastic campus. So without wasting your time any further, I'm going to call upon Ms. Subhashini, our academic speaker for the day, and take you through what is spatial design at DOT like, and just take you through a few subject areas. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. There.
So, hi everyone. I'm Subhashni. I'm associate faculty in DOT for the interior design department. So, first thing I want to say is about our faculty here. As you guys know, the DOT school is one of its kind, and it's a first initiative into where you have the entire design platform together as separate one. Uh, so, sorry. So, I think someone is unmute. Yeah. So, as you see, like Dot School is one of its kind. We have a extensive design department here, and the thing is, like, you can have an interaction with other design people. That doesn't happens with other colleges, like where you have architecture college which provides interior design, but they focus more on to your technical skills, but the design development is not there. Where when your arts college has a design interior design courses, they only focus on design part and they leave the technical part as such. Well, what we do in dot is that it's a combination of both technical as well as the design skills which we have. So the focus is like evenly balanced because the staff ratio is also in the similar manner, like we have a lot of design related people, and a lot of practicing architects who come and teach here, and a lot of architects who have already worked and interior designers who already have like industrial experience come and teach here. So that becomes a big plus point when you think about dot. And one more thing I want to talk about is the syllabus which we have. Basically, the syllabus which we have is also oriented towards the same goal what we have. Like the first semester is all focused into your design thinking and design thought process, how you develop and nurture yourself through the design thinking. The second part of it will be more on to step by step you will be leading into a technical skill, and you have an internship platform also. That's like a big plus point because none of the interior design courses isn't well planned as of now. So this is one of the biggest advantage which we have in dot syllabus. And we I'm happy to be a part of dot teaching this kind of work because I've been a practicing architect for almost 10 plus years. I actually handle students outside the institute as well as here, so we know the plus and minus of where we need to tweak people, train them, the gap between the academic as well as the the career oriented path is bridged here. So it's not only with the spatial department, I think it's more similar with any department in dot. And you have a multicultural connect here, like you can interact with the fashion people, and you can interact with an art people, art curators and all those stuff. And it's one of the biggest plus point when you talk about as an interior designer, even as an architect, to be very frank, because as an interior designer you need to involve yourself into all these fields. It's just not into a technical field that I design the space, but you have to collaborate a lot of things into it. Like you might need to involve a lot of textile related stuff into your design, and you might have to involve a lot of mm, art into your project. So when you have that basic skill and knowledge already being there with all these 4 years when you are there in the dot, so that adds a plus point for you guys to when you come back into the field, that you already have enough knowledge on to know what kind of process you need and what kind of details which we need to look at even in fashion or even in relation to industrial design or in relation to art. So you are already being like big foundation level is being placed upon. That's like the biggest plus point I would say. And moreover, as an interior designer, a lot of times it stops with just designing things but not actually seeing things. Here we have a lot of labs, So students have that freedom to actually work it out and see how flexibly we can do things, what is practically applicable, what is not. That is like other added advantage which we have here. So that's the main thing about the syllabus and things of dot. In addition to that, talking about the staff, most of us are already architects, practicing people, interior designers who have masters as well. Most of us have masters, so it's like already people who are in masters and they are there teaching you, so the value of education is itself is an added plus point for you guys. So yeah, that's the main thing which we have. Tasim, I'll pass it over to Tasim.
Yeah. Thank you, Subhashini. Thank you for
Yeah.
that input.
Yeah.
So what I can hear is at DOT there will be, because there are so many different courses and very well experienced teachers and faculty, you get to learn not just not just the theoretical or just the subject areas, but also get to sort of practice things further on. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for your insights, Vashini. So
Yeah.
now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly take you through a video where, there's been a testimonial from the current students that are already a part of Dot School of Design. So you get to know what they think about the campus and what they think about the teachers and what they're studying over here and how different it is for them. So again, I'm going to go on mute and show you that video now.
Hello everyone, this is Ashwin Ravichandran and I am doing my bachelor's in communication design.
Hey everyone, I'm Akshara and I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree in communication design.
Hey guys, this is Aryan from Dot School of Design. I'm doing B.Des interior design.
Hi friends, and this is Carolyn. I'm studying communication design from Dot School of Design.
I'm Krish Karna. I'm from Dot School of Design. I've chosen industrial designing.
I'm Vidya doing BFA in Dot School of Design.
Hi, I'm Sahri Lekha. I'm fashion design student.
Hi, I'm Ovia from Dot School of Design studying fashion designing.
Hi, I'm Nayanatara. I'm doing fashion design in Dot School of Design.
According to my understanding, designing is something where you could really grow in very high level than others.
And I also wanted to break the thinking of people that design is only related to fashion design or graphic design.
Right now, I feel so proud because if I draw something, I can explain why I did a particular line.
I want to be creative and implement my ideas which I have.
And my experience until today has been really great.
Here in this field, we unlearn, we learn, we grow and we develop on what we do.
I've had most of my classes online, but unlike how people say that we cannot learn in online classes, that isn't true for us.
One would be satisfied only when he is happy with the work he does.
This is what we did in online classes.
We have things like we display our work and we talk and it's like an exhibition. If online classes are this interesting, what about the offline classes?
The faculty is very friendly and easy to approach. It's been almost 6 months since I joined. I never regretted my decision.
After seeing the campus, I was very impressed on the infrastructure facilities and the ambience of the campus and getting that work experience when I'm studying itself.
My ultimate aim is to change or create impact in design world with my own designing.
I thought, why shouldn't I take design as my career throughout my life? I decided to start my journey from Dot School of Design. So my journey began successfully and going on well, and I hope it will lead to my career path successfully.
Experience in Dot School was really nice and I'm looking forward to learn more from this college.
And the credit goes to Dot School of Design for creating an environment for us to learn, improve and improvise.
And I'm so happy to be a part of Dot School of Design.
That is why I have been chosen design in Dot School of Design. Thank you.
So that was just a again, a quick view at what the current students at DOT feel about us and the campus and the faculty members. So now, without further ado, let's call upon Ms. Sreedevi. She's an architect at Hawker and West, and she will be addressing her, sort of sharing her experience as an architect and about the industry. And post that, we will be starting with our Q&A.
Hi,
so, Sreedevi, or you can just.
Can you see
even
me?
the camera, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second.
Fine.
Yeah. Yes,
hi everyone. So I'm Sreedevi, and like Musna said, currently I'm working with this firm called Hawker and West Architects. I come over with around 9 years of experience in various firms, and that to different types of firms also. I have worked with Mecon, which is actually a sister concern of Steel Authority India Limited, where we did a lot of public sector projects. And then I worked with Arvind Varna Associates in Chennai, where again I worked on a range of products, and Mancini Architects, again in Chennai, which was a different experience altogether. Then I've worked for a year or so in LiveSpace. I'm pretty sure all of you must have come across LiveSpace through a lot of ads, etc. So that, and currently now I'm working with Hawker and West. So in between, I have worked on my own projects, I've done a bit of freelancing, etc. So that pretty much sums up my work experience as such. Yes, so see, I'm like to talk broadly about the field as such, like how it is, or I mean, they introduce you to the academic part of it. I'll give you a brief about how it works out there. So it's pretty, I mean, it's very interesting. This thing, and it comes with its own challenges also, but I think the challenge is the part that actually attracts you to this entire course. So, so there are, see, each firm works with a different way. Like you have a variety of projects from residential to commercial, retail, even industrial projects and all that. So, but the general workflow works like you get a client, then you you work around the requirements of the client, then you come up with a lot of schemes, which is the actual the challenge. I mean, that is a certain kind of challenge because you're trying to satisfy design as per what the client needs. Then after that, you move on to trying to execute it. So the extra part that comes from the academics to reality is that now you're working with a lot of consultants. You're working with a structural consultant who helps you bring up your building, your plumbing, electricals. There are a lot of services involved. So like you're the puppet master types. You're tying up all the puppets together. And you still have to give out a workable design. It cannot be something that's just a random thing. So yes, so after that you move on to your drawings, etc., and then the site work. The site work is again it's nice. It's actually a very nice feeling to watch your design come out there, be it interiors or architecture both. So that is an overall workflow when you get a project at an office. Then after that, talking about the different kinds of offices, like I was telling you, right? So each office works in a different way. So see, there are offices that work like they have a larger volume of projects and they do it at a faster pace. I mean, there is no right or wrong strategy in this. That is something I've learned over the years. So they work on a very fast pace and they like to shell out more projects at much shorter time period. There are some offices like the one I work for, Mancini, which is, I mean, if you join this field, Mancini is a well-known name. So they work like, what do you say? They take only very minimal projects, very exclusive ones. And they almost work on every project like it's your baby. Like they take their time. I mean, they also get clientele like that. So they convince their clientele about what a good design is. In fact, we have come down to the extent of even designing a client's chessboard, which was a very interesting thing. So we were designing the interiors for his apartment and he wanted even his chessboard designed because, I mean, that's something he really liked. So yes, so you come across a lot of interesting tidbits like these that you work on. So in fact, the chessboard, we worked on it for so long. We did a lot of sampling and experiments with the materials, etc. So yes, so it's filled with a lot of room for creativity. So that is one thing that I'd like to tell you. So yes, like I said, each firm or each thing works in a different business model, and so there's a lot of opportunities for you to, if I don't like this, I can move to that. If I don't like this, I can move to that. So that's how it works with every firm and etc. So, and if you're talking about and then the way you can branch out or from here, see, I know a lot of people keep asking about where do I go in few years, etc. There's like extensive opportunities for you to even branch out. One is you can stay back in hardcore interiors and architecture. But apart from that, I've seen a lot of them move out into fields like urban design, landscape, lighting, retail design, and all that. So, if you're if I have to briefly talk about it, see, landscape again is not something. See, even that is a form of spatial design. You might not see every space need not be something which is enclosed within four walls. Even a public park is a space. You are still designing a space. So if I'm taking it, see, landscape design, it's see, a lot of them mistake it to be something like a botanist. No, you're not learning about trees and plants. I mean, you know basic, but you're talking about how they look in an overall. You're just not planting something. You're creating a space for a person to be comfortable. Something that let's say if you walk into a park, you get the kind of feel that it's supposed to give you. That's what you're talking about here when you're talking about a design of the space. So that works with a lot of areas also. So if I'm moving, say, to urban design is a very, very profitable one, considering these days and the lack of good spaces in our cities, especially Indian cities. I'm assuming most of you are from Chennai, and you must have seen the change of design in Pondi Bazaar stretch, which was that's probably the most recent and brilliant example I can pick. And ever since they modified it, it's been fantastic for people walking that stretch. Anybody before knows what a pain in the ass it was to walk that stretch. So it's been brilliant. Like even vehicles can move uninterrupted, and a pedestrian or even say just an old couple can come relax under a tree. You have a seat there. So that's also a space design. I'm designing a space, making it comfortable for somebody to sit there. And it's also feel like, Chennai is a hot place. It's always nice to sit under a tree. So it works like that. So, that whole design stretch was designed by a lot of architecture firms that came together to do that stretch, which was brilliant. So that is with urban design. So like I said, urban design is a very profitable branch from space for design of spaces, especially in the public sector also. Then talking about, say, even another very lucrative branch is retail. Very obvious is because, designing a store is key to attracting your customers. So right from, say, if you walk into a mall, there are some shops that attract you, that ask you to come in. There are, even without someone having to call you in. So there's something that just pulls you there. So that's the whole thing. So what is the key there? Is it their color palette? Is it the materials they have used? Is it the way they have displayed? So there are a lot of things to it on why something attracts you inside. So it's this kind of psychology that we also study about, how to come in. So these are branches that are like more, like specific. So it's these are all part of space designs where you can you can just go anywhere you want. Then, I've seen some people also move into lighting because that also plays a key part, especially lighting of auditoriums, theaters, etc. So that's one thing. And then the other very interesting part about designing of spaces is your study of materials also. The market of materials is extensive. I'm pretty sure anybody, just not especially even the fashion or the other ones that they're talking about, material plays a very, very key role. So, and it's a constant work in progress industry with the materials that are available today for you to even design your space. So that is one thing. And And after that, there is a lot of what do you call it? And of course, one of the most saleable USP of thing is that is sustainability and eco-friendly spaces. So we're talking about like see, uh, everyone today is moving towards more energy efficient spaces. That is a big selling point, in fact, right, to anything. Like I'm selling a space that does not consume so much of energy. Believe me, like space design is so key that a lot of what do you call it, energy can be saved with the design of a very, very good space. Like even a wrongly placed window can cause your space to heat up. Where and like I mean, all of us know that Chennai summers you get through so much of air conditioning and how much of energy gets consumed through that. But trust me, a lot of energy can be saved if your space is very, very well designed. uh, right from how you ventilate it, the direction you keep your window to the like how well you work out and circulate your winds and get in sun, etc. Is a very good study by itself. So that's something that's a very what do you say, never stops having a future. It's something that's I mean that's like the future that we're talking about. We really need to save up on all that. So these are all the things that tie into the design of a space, which you'll realize that it's very interesting. Like as you go in, and frankly, in 10 years, I have never got bored of designing a building or a space or anything because every project comes with its own challenge in the form of the client, in the form of the project itself, and maybe in some aspects of the construction or materials that you use or etc. So, but everything is different, so you never kind of get bored of it. You are always like, fine, this is something different, so let me again try this. So it works like that. And frankly, I mean, I know a lot of industries and sectors were hit due to the pandemic. This is one sector that was not hit. Trust me, we were still working and we were having a fun, even at from home. So it's good like that. Yes, but I'm not going to deny that it's like a cakewalk. It is, like I said, right? It is very challenging. I think the fun lies in the challenge itself, because almost every project you get is like a problem it's like a math problem that you need to solve. You have a lot of conditions coming in together, right from vastu to structural aspects to everything. And you practically have to solve everything that comes there and tie everything together and present it right there and make sure it's up there and it's good. So that's pretty much what the design field is like. The architecture and interior field is like, at least.
Thank you so much, Sreedevi. That was really insightful, actually. In fact, for me, it was like, okay, there's so many different, genres to that in spatial design. And definitely that Pondicherry really has, Pondi Bazaar has hit the mark, actually. That space has been done so well. And also, right now, I think that there could be a lot that can be done with even the old Chennai part, right? The old Madras part with all the British buildings and everything. I wish some company takes that up and does some really nice cafes over there. That's like
yes.
Okay, guys. So now I'm going to open up the stage for like everyone, in the sense like on the chat. Please put in your questions there, and we'll be answering your questions. So feel free to start typing. We'll see your questions and we'll answer it here. And okay. So the first question is, does interior design have job opportunities? The expected question.
Okay, let me tell you, you have plenty. The market is very, very high. Everybody wants a good looking home. And these so I mean, you have really plenty of opportunities. You have no worries there.
Yeah, so interior design definitely has job opportunities. I mean, everyone has to live in a house, so.
Yes, and I mean, these days it's not just living in a house. I mean, I think gone are the times where you just want a roof and four walls. Everyone wants a home that's very presentable, very comfortable, and definitely something that you would obviously like to display. I mean, it reflects your tastes. So yeah. What path is ideal for interior students for freelancing or starting a firm? Okay, first is after you finish your course, you see this is like this field is very design. I mean, at least spatial design is very similar to say doctor or a lawyer. Your experience here is gold. I mean, unlike any other sectors, the experience is key. So I would suggest that after you finish, it's always good to gain experience for a while because I mean that's the one that teaches you on how to solve certain challenges, and then most of them how they work is that like they gain the experience. They also start are on the lookout of for own projects. So the experience simultaneously helps you in running your own firm, and then coming out separately and starting out your own projects also. Okay, then wait, I'm just using silence.
So then there's a question on the pay scale for freshers.
The pay scale, it really truly depends on the kind of place you're getting into, the sector that you get into. So, I mean, I can't really comment on that or something because it totally depends from firm to firm. I mean, there's no standard as such. So you can even get into a corporate architecture firm, corporate interior design firm, and then there are normal firms also. Even in the normal firms, there's like a range. So I mean, I cannot really say any particular pay to this. Okay, will interior designer get government jobs? I'm not sure on interior designers, but I think architects have place in government jobs, but I'm not sure how easy it is to get. Is interior design different from spatial design? See, if you're talking like very curriculum-wise, I'm not sure if I can comment on the subjects that I've taught, but I'm assuming they're very similar.
I'll just add in there, Jay, Shrutika, if you have any doubts, you can always go on our website and there's a number there, right? And you can get in touch with someone like over there. They'll do one-on-one counseling for you. So they'll explain whatever specific questions you have regarding the curriculum or anything specific.
I just want to add on to that question, like, why we specifically mentioned it as a spatial design is basically because main concern was to have a basic concept of arranging space rather than in interior design, because most of the interior design syllabuses are focused on design orientation, like, the main art appreciation. The syllabus is little bit different onto interior design. But when you come to spatial design, it involves both the technicality as well as the design basics. That's the major difference. If you see courses in abroad, they have these spatial design masters, okay, in master levels. And they have these graduate program like 6 months, 1 year graduate program, especially for spatial. In spatial also, again, you have a lot of segregation for residential, commercial. They have these divisions. That we don't have right now, but we are trying to focus each year with one projects on residential, commercial, and retail. It's segregated like that. So that's why we kept it as spatial design rather than interior design.
Subhashini, actually, you can take the next question as well, because the question is the first year more of a foundation you're dealing with basics of design or jump straight into the field of specific topics?
Okay, so I think even in engineering or any medicine course you take, you have to do maths, you have to do English. So it's similar to that, but here the basic courses which you take for the first year will not be very similar to what engineering students would do. It's different, but you have a basic foundation for all the design courses like design thinking, critical thought process, and foundation into drawing and sketching. And there are a lot of foundation courses which are oriented in developing your skill set for next level. Yeah.
Thank you. So I can see some similar trends there. Another question saying a lot of engineers or architects or people from other industry are moving into the interior design space. So does it lose its authenticity?
I don't think so.
No. See, I see the reason why they sort of come tied together is because, especially because, see, if I'm a client and I'm coming in with, say, design my house, I prefer just sticking to one place and then getting the interiors also done. That's the only reason why they sort of come together. But there's nothing like, I mean, there are firms that are exclusively do interiors. So I don't think you lose your authenticity or something like that. And as an architect, I'll tell you that I would we can do like basic interiors unless and until I'm really a professional at it. So I will be able to pick you some good things, but on the overall, an interior designer will be able to give you a better space. The interiors of a space. If I'm talking about the overall thing, an interior designer can spruce up your space better than an architect.
Okay. Did we miss out any more questions, guys? I think we've sort of covered all of them. Did we miss something out here? So job, we've already discussed about the job thing. Actually, we've already discussed that part about what are the opportunities available. Are there any more questions, guys? Hostel facilities and rules. So those things, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the school, the design school's website details right here for you guys. There is a phone number that you'll find over there, and you can go in for like a one-on-one counseling. Whatever questions you have, you can get them answered. Okay, what are the opportunities and scope of work shift towards design and project management after architecture?
There are lots actually. So if you want to shift more towards design and project management, there are lots. I mean, I have a lot of friends who moved into project management, especially for bigger projects, because it's very key. One person is something that you cannot do. Like I told you, like if one project, even if it's a big residential project, there are a lot of people and a lot of teams that have to come in between. And it definitely requires the project manager to handle things out there. So there's a lot of scope in project management. In fact, I myself have been like trying to move into project management because I mean, it's much easier that way to handle people at site and the consultants, the vendors, etc. So a lot of things that are there.
Just want to add on to that question. So it's it relates to me more because as I did my architecture, but I've been doing interior for ever since I started my career. And I did, like, when you do large scale projects like interior fit outs for 1 lakh square feet or more, the specialization is required. If you have a specialization in project management, it would help you when you place a tender for an interior, like for the costing. At that level, it will be helpful. For a small scale projects of less than 10,000 or less than that, you can manage with this degree itself. But when you go for an higher level, probably you need your project management skill set there. You can do that as well.
So there's also another question about in DOT, do we learn more on software or drawing skills? Like, is there something like that, like only software?
Okay. So yeah, we do use a lot of software as well as drawing skills. Drawing skills helps you a lot because most of the time when you work at site, even though you give drawings, there might be a correction at the site which you need to immediately correct. You can't go back to the office, I'll do the small change and give you. So that's why we help you guide in drawing skill set, because it will help you understand the 3D of the space. When you do it manually, it will give you the 3D imaging of the space that you can imagine and do stuff. So that's why we prioritize on drawing skill set. And software is also there, like we mostly use SketchUp, AutoCAD, and people use Revert. There are people who use Adobe Illustrator, and a lot of other softwares are there. Even recently we had students using Rhino also. So it depends on the students' wish to learn, and what we give you is like a basic skill set on drafting. Most of the drafting softwares are very similar, so you can pick up on to the others as well.
Thank you so much, Subhashini. So I can see a question about internships. So I am the INCO coordinator over here. So I take care of all the industry connect with the students. So we already have a bunch of companies on board, and internship opportunities are coming our way. So that is something that's completely streamlined already and taken care of. So once you guys have decided to come in, there will be summer internships and you'll have another project. So there are multiple projects that come in and you will have your touch with the industries at that point. Then there's a very generic question: how do we find the right laborers or workers, marketing people if you're freelancing? It's like very far-fetched question.
Yeah, see, that is, I mean, these are contacts you gain on the way. You don't, right when you step out of your academic course, you don't what do you say, have it right there. These are contacts you just gain over time with experience, over doing projects. You know who's good, who's not so good, or not being very professional, or something like that. And I guess over time you also will learn to market yourself. You'll know how to hold on to a client, or hold on to which projects to go grab. And like I said, right, this is experience is key here. So that is what you need before you even try to freelance, because I wouldn't recommend freelancing right away, because there are a lot of things that you need to learn about the market and how it goes about.
I just want to add on, because what happens at DOT is, like, recently we had a lot of students who take up projects right now. Okay, and they are interconnecting with the other students, and they have their own connects, and they do their own research, because we have a part of a syllabus where we ask you to go to market, find out the rates for material, and go to the shop, pick samples, and have interaction with the vendors as well. So obviously you have this startup connection with all these stuff as well as a part of syllabus. So yeah, some people have already started doing, I do false ceiling, I'm doing the carpentry work. So they have developed their own sets. And there is no right labor, wrong labor. One person would do right in one job, the next job they will screw up. It all depends. There is nothing like, right, wrong onto that. Maybe a principle set, ethics wise, you need to choose right person. It depends everywhere. You need to evaluate on that.
That's great. I mean, I didn't know students were already taking up projects. That's amazing. So there's another question, and I'm sure this was, I mean, even when I got into design, this was a question in my mind. Are digital drawing skills a must, or traditional art is enough to get into
this is for me?
Anyone who's, who can answer this.
Digital drawing skills, are you talking about like AutoCAD? I
think they're talking about the graphicals ones, which they draw it with the.
Frankly, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. Yeah, it's not necessary actually. Either ways is welcome in the industry. The industry is flexible like that. So frankly, I cannot digitally draw at all. I just give me a paper and pencil. I'm so much more comfortable with it. But I guess, yes, I've seen a lot of freshers come in with being so good with their software and all that. So, it's just, I think it differs from person to person. And the best thing is I've also seen firms adapt to those freshers. Like, for example, no firm is going to tell you that, okay, if you're not going to sketch well, you're not welcome in. Like, if you're good with a digital drawing, yes, you're welcome it. You're welcome to showcase your talent that way. So, I haven't seen such kind of restrictions also. So you have the flexibility.
Just want to add on, the major part of the drawing or any, it's either hand drawn or digitally drawn or your drafting skills. It's mainly depends on how you convey your idea to the person. If you can convey with one single line, it's fine. If you can't, then you need to work on it. That's what is more important, I think.
Yeah. So what's most important while designing any space, the function or the aesthetic aspect, which gets the precedence?
Definitely function. Because it's not a space if it doesn't fulfill your function. But that does not mean that you just make a very boring space. It can still be a very functional space and a very interesting space. So yes, function is what you satisfy first, but after that you learn to spruce it up. You try to make the feel of the space better. Like when you walk into a space, what is it that makes you feel good? Like say if I'm paint, even if I'm just say talking about paint colors, the space is functional, but I can change the whole feel of the room by how it looks. Like a blue color paint can give me a very different feel from a red color paint. So that's what I'm talking about. So we do satisfy the function first, but that does not mean we ignore the aesthetic aspect of it. I mean, it has to look good. Like
that's why clients pays you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have another question. Which part of the interior space has to be given utmost importance so that it turns out to be the center of attraction?
I think
this is a very subjective question because one, it depends on the space in question. If I'm talking about a living room, okay, I mean, I'll get to more relatable spaces. So if you take up a residence itself, if it's a living room, it's something else that needs to be a center of attraction. And if it's a kitchen, it's something else. Kitchen is a very purely functional space. I don't think I'll need a center of attraction there. So it depends actually. I mean, it totally depends on the space and what the client wants and all that. It's a very, very subjective question and there's no definitive answer to it.
It's more related to how you feel, how you want to make yourself feel or your client feel when he's there. That's what is more important in any space, I would say. Even if it's a corridor, even if it's like the toilet, you have to discuss on how you feel being there. You should be comfortable. You should be pleasant. I mean, that joy should be there.
Absolutely, I agree. I think any more questions, guys? If you have, just type it in and we'll answer that. And we'll wrap up the session. If I missed anything else above, I think that's about it. So if you do have any more questions and any sort of counseling that you need with regards to spatial design, feel free to go on our website and there is a number there. You can call them up and we can get a one-on-one counseling there. Also, do let us know what you feel about this session and how the webinar went for you. We answer your questions. You can go on the Instagram handle and look into our story and give us your suggestions there. This is our Instagram handle. And thank you so much, both of you. Thank you, Ms. Subhashini. Thank you, Sreedevi, for joining. And it was a wonderful discussion, even for me, because I'm not from the spatial design space at all. So it was quite insightful for me as well. Hopefully, it was really good for all the students who joined in. And this will help you, sort of streamline your career path and make you take that right decision. So thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow we'll be having another session at around 5 o'clock, the same time. Do join in if you want to clarify more doubts. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you once again. Thanks.